131017, which is a request tonight for consideration of a resolution to request that the Alabama legislature take action relieving the city of Homewood from the application of the lid bill. And this is coming to us from finance, so I would ask for a report from finance.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met on the 16th and voted 4-0 to recommend approval of the resolution that Councilor Wyatt had approved, and that's been distributed. So 4-0 recommended approval from Finance.
All right, and I know we just had the resolution provided to us formally or informally provided to us by email. I don't know if anyone has any questions or has a request for it to be read or anything like that. If not, or any further discussion, entertain a motion. Yes, sir, Mr. Higginbotham.
I just wanted to, I did want to make a couple comments about the process on this, and I know that we are fortunate to have Representative Faulkner in the audience. He can correct me if I'm wrong about what I'm about to say. As I understand it, should the legislature adopt this bill, then it would be submitted to the entire county for a vote to ratify removing Homewood from the lid bill. Is that correct?
It may be. If anybody objects, it will be a countywide vote. If there's no objection, then it would, from the members of the legislature, be a citywide vote.
Citywide vote, okay.
Oh, so there is a chance for a citywide vote.
So it could be a
If
citywide
there's no
vote.
objection, but
Yeah, and of course, it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it, that if there was ever a desire, which this does not necessarily voice a desire, but if there was ever a desire to raise property taxes, that would require a vote of the residents of the city of Homewood, as I understand it. So I just want to just lay out a little bit of the background on this. And as I told Mr. White, I am principled and against the lid bill entirely, just because I think local government should make their own decisions. But I just wanted to be clear about what the process was, because I think there's some misinformation.
maybe I need to state this. Maybe Mr. Representative Faulkner might have a different opinion. The legislature has to adopt an act that would authorize exempting the city, and then they would have to authorize a vote of the people to consider any resolution, any ad valorem increase or election to raise any increase. So it's really a two-step process. One, they have to adopt this first act, and then they would have to subsequently, assuming they adopted an act exempting us from the lid bill, they have to authorize a vote of the people to have a vote to even consider an ad valorem increase. David, do you have any different?
My understanding is, I will say this, Mike, my understanding is that there has to be a countywide vote, regardless. But I do think you just described a two-step process correctly. I do think there's a two-step process, but I do think there has to be a countywide vote, regardless of whether an objection or not. But that can be worded, that can be certainly be worded that it is for Homewood only. And if I'm wrong on that, we'll, you know, I never say I'm always right, but from what I was told, I understand there has to be a countywide vote. Even if we don't have, even if we get it through Montgomery, there does change whether we have an objection in the legislature, whether or not the votes that we have on the House, on the floor of the Senate or the House. But I still think you have to have a Jefferson County-wide vote up here.
All right, well,
I could be wrong. I'm not, maybe.
Well, and we'll sort through that. For tonight's purposes, we are talking about a resolution from the City Council, and whether it's going to be a citywide vote or a countywide vote, it's going to require state legislative approval. And this is just to remove us from the lid bill. Again, to clarify, it has nothing to do with raising property taxes or anything along those lines. But all right, so with that, I'll see if there's any further questions or discussion. Entertain a motion for approval.
I'll second it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So we have it came out of finance with approval. Thank you, sir. With that, I'll entertain a second.
I will second that.
Second by Mrs. Andrus. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so that stands approved, and that's going to be Resolution 17175.